Hi. This is a poem about my dad's friend Tony, whose unit liberated the concentration camp at Bergen Belsen towards the end of World War II. And it's written in response to the recent installation in Amsterdam of thousands of pairs of children's shoes representing the slaughter of the innocents in Gaza. And it's called The Mirror. Dad's friend Tony Regan was enlisted to the Royal Artillery in '44. A boy of 18 years, he'd been conscripted in the final bloody months of the war. And he witnessed the failure that is war, not glory or flag-waving pride, but hollowed lands, razed villages by the score, mangled trucks with charred occupants inside. His mates died, and war became a lesson in survival, discipline, and self-control. When his unit liberated Bergen Belsen, the depravity and cruelty burned his soul. There before him was the culmination of a decade's persecution of the Jews. On obscenity, an abomination, fetid corpses piled, scattered like refuse. Overcrowded huts in abject squalor, dehumanised, starved and abased, with teachers, doctors, shopkeepers and scholars, and kids consigned to die there by the state. Kristallnacht, the pogrom, confiscation of land and property was underway before the war, but silence, obfuscation, the world knew, yet chose to look the other way. Nightly he'd create a diorama of wooden huts and wire in solitude, with haunted, sallow figures in pyjamas, unburied dead and piles of children's shoes. And I wonder, would Tony understand, comprehend, recognise and relate to a people driven from their homes and land, facilitated, sanctioned by the state? Villages razed, cleared, crops uprooted, disenfranchised, dehumanised, afraid, pleas for clemency and justice refuted. The world knows, yet turns and looks the other way. And would he recognise the situation of malnourished, starving kids across the land, in camps without clean water, sanitation, on cities where their houses used to stand? Amid the ruins of Lebanon and Gaza, beneath the rubble of the hospitals and schools, along the avenues, boulevards and plazas, unburied dead and piles of children's shoes.